Jenny from TaiwanPlus. Today we are chatting with a very talented Taiwanese filmmaker. Hi, Yi-chin, how are you?
Hi, Jello.
Well, thank you for coming to TaiwanPlus today. Can you please tell us a bit about yourself?
I'm Tsai Yi-chin, and this is Now the Time I Should Let You Go is my film.
Could you please summarize this film for us?
This film is about my feeling about losing my father. Papa. 现在是不是时候我应该将你放下了呢？
What is the message you wish the audience to get?
Because I think the process of me to relieve myself from the feeling of losing my father is quite complicated. So there is quite many emotion in this film. I just hope I can express how I feel through this film. So if the audience can get anything, I will be happy.
Yeah. To be honest, I actually almost cried when I watched this film in the beginning because it's about family videos.
Yeah.
Right? So who filmed those family videos?
The video footage I used is mostly filmed by my mother with the video cam. So it was with not very high resolution, but I think it brings quite good feeling of the texture of the past.
Okay, because back in the time, it's not that convenient to use video camera to capture those footages. So the pixels are really rough. So it brings audience a very different feeling, a sense of nostalgia. This is the graduation project?
Yeah.
So out of so many different topics, and why do you choose to use this topic?
Actually, in the beginning, I planned to do something with the dictatorship for my master's thesis. But when I need to pitch to the class, I suddenly decide to change the topic to do what I really want to do. So I think deep in my mind, I really want to do this family video for myself and also for my family.
So what did your family feel about this after they watched this film?
I think my mother asked me if other people can also understand something because she thinks it's too personal and it's just about our family. So she couldn't understand why some other people would want to see it.
But isn't it a happy surprise that it got nominated in this film festival?
Yeah.
That means actually people feel something about this film too.
I'm very happy that it can be selected to the festival.
Do you think this kind of a message is across the globe?
Because in the beginning of making this film, I was very doubt if this kind of personal thing can be conveyed well if I just talk about my own feeling. But after I do my research, I realized that the personal things and the intimate things is quite easy to touch people if I can do it with my heart and if I can do it very honest. I think it can express well.
So what do your classmates and your professors think about this film when they watched it?
I think they are very touched because from the first time I pitched to them, everybody cries. So they saw all my process of making this film, but every time I present and every time I have new progress, they cried again.
Well, just by talking to her make me feel like crying. Okay, and what is the biggest challenge that you had during shooting and making this film?
It's the emotion part because I made this film for 2 years, but in the first and half year, my mind is quite messy, like all my emotion and thoughts are like everywhere and I couldn't manage to put them together because they are just very complicated. And every time I try to form something, I would just collapse because it's too heavy. So the most difficult part is how to organize all the emotion and all the thoughts and need to like put them together and even do a structure to make it work. I think it's just in the beginning of this year, I feel like I should structure something. So I put several weeks for me just try to organize all my emotion and write down everything, because I thought I should have a voiceover structure to organize everything. And I tried to write it, but it was very difficult to write things. So I spent weeks write a lot, and finally I find the answer to myself. At the point, I could finally start to put myself a bit outside to see the whole things.
So you detached your feelings and to look at this film from a different perspective, to compartmentalize your feelings.
Yeah, because when I was still very inside it, I couldn't structure anything because everything is very, very overwhelming if I'm inside the emotion. So when I was able to relieve, I think I could start to detach a bit.
Wow, it's quite tough. But you made it.
Yeah.
How did you approach the visual aesthetics of your film?
In the beginning, I tried to find how could I combine animation technique with the footage I collected, like videos and photos. How can I use animation to interfere the footage? And I didn't want to destroy the footage itself, so I tried to just paint on top of it.
You draw all this animation by yourself.
Yeah.
And what was the inspiration? What were the influences?
I went to show some exhibition, and there's some work they draw on top of the photos, or they have frames and they draw on top of the frames. And I think it's very interesting how the interaction between the drawing and the footage. So I tried to also draw on top of the video I have and also draw on top of the film. There's also some abstract part. I was using some video I shoot for reference, and I draw frame on paper.
Sounds like a lot of hard work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's really fun.
Do you encourage audience to give you any feedback about this film?
Yeah, I would like to know if the audience can feel anything from the film. Maybe if they can relate to their own experience, or they feel something, even if they cannot tell what the thing is. If they feel something, I would be very happy to know.
So how do they stay in touch with you?
Maybe they can email me.
So if there's any feedback from the audience, they can write you an email to show you their feelings, right?
Yes, please.
Do you have any future plans for this film?
Yeah, because Sundance Asia is my first screening festival, so I would like to keep submitting to other festivals and maybe let the film travel around.
So I hope this film can bring you to different parts of the world to show your talents and then bring this message to an audience across the globe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to TaiwanPlus for more.